Hey there. Welcome to the Q&A session for Deb's Digital Tips. We're going to talk about Artisan and Historian tonight. I'm going to wait and see if anybody else is going to join us. I'm going to go ahead and get started, and if anybody wants to join in, that's great. What we're going to talk about tonight is we're going to start off with the new Artisan 5 software really quickly. If you don't know what Artisan is, it is a really fantastic, very powerful digital scrapbooking software made by Panstoria by Forever. And that's a long story, but you can always find out more about both of those entities, or I guess they're one big entity now, on my site at debsdigitaltips.com. We're going to just briefly go over a few of the things that make Artisan 5 a little bit different than what we've had previously. For those of you who've used either Artisan 4 or Storybook Creator 4, this is basically the same software, but it's got a few new bells and whistles. I have to admit, I haven't had a chance to spend enough time with it to give you every single bell and whistle, but that's probably too much anyway. One of the first things that I noticed right out of the box that I absolutely just applaud is the new content area. So if you go up here to manage content, first of all, you're going to see that I am a bit of a content hog. I have a lot of content, and this is all stuff that I have gathered from the time that Storybook Creator started, because I have been using it since inception, and I am quite a collector and pretty much do most of my photos and digital scrapbooking this way. But as you'll notice, this is a little bit different than Artisan 4. Let me show you Artisan 4. Hold on, I want to make sure this actually shows. So let me adjust my screen sharing here. Whoop. No, I need screen sharing, not me. Okay, we're going to just show the entire screen, okay? Here we go. Yeah, no, I'm not going to look at myself. I love that. Okay, so this is Artisan 5, but this is Artisan 4, and when you looked at your managed content in 4, yeah, don't show me this again. You saw it was a little bit similar in that it starts out with these folders over here on the left-hand side, but now it's actually taken and organized those either by library, by categories, which I haven't got any categories set up at the moment, and by tags, which I have plenty of set up because I use the tags a lot, not necessarily the categories. That's something I need to look into more. But if you'll notice in Artisan 4, that was all up here in this tab instead of on the side. So now it's just a little bit easier. It's a go-to. They've actually kind of moved some of the functionality onto the sides in this version. So now in Artisan 5, I've got each of these over here. So I can look it up by the name of the kit. Like I said, I'm a bit of a hog here. Or, since that's going to take forever, still my favorite thing is to look it up by tag, which this used to be called keywords, but like a lot of times I use browns a lot, so I'll look for something and I'll look up brown, and this will reduce it just to the papers or the embellishments that are brown that I can add. I can look it up by camping. We do a lot of that too. Ooh, there's some stuff that I haven't used yet, and we even have a campfire tag, which must be something that that came embedded in one of the kits, because I don't think I set that one up. So anyway, there's all of these different tags that we can use, and we can access those when we're actually working on a project in here. But in addition to all of this, I'm going to minimize my tags here again. You can jump to going online and looking up free content. There is new content you can purchase, released every first and third Friday of the month right now on Panstoria's digital store. And usually we're not talking like 5 kits, we're talking 70 to 80 kits sometimes. It's a lot of content. They have a lot of cool designers who provide content for the software, which is really awesome. And actually, I'm going to talk to you in a future broadcast about using content from other vendors out or other places outside of Panstoria as well, because there's other cool places I've been picking stuff up. You have to bring it into the software a little bit differently, and it works a little bit differently, but if it's the right file type, you can do it. So if you've got content you haven't brought in yet, again, you use this import content. It's just like in Artisan 4 or Storybook Creator 4. And think about if you're upgrading from 4 to 5, is that if you make a copy of your activation codes in Artisan 4 prior to converting, or even after, because it doesn't actually take Artisan 4 off of your machine when you install 5. They're two separate software programs. So you can actually, once you convert, you're going to want to go back and probably uninstall Artisan 4 unless you really want it for some reason and you have a lot of extra space on your computer. The thing about really wanting it is that once you've converted a project or your content over to 5, especially your projects, you're not going to be able to backshift and go open them in 4. They're not going to be openable in Artisan 4 anymore. So there's not really a point after you get started to keeping Artisan 4 on your computer if you already have Artisan 5 installed. So, but if you can make a backup of your activation codes, and I probably need to black this out now. And then let's see, once you make that backup and you come into Artisan 5, you can actually bring those in just by, it'll give you a nice blank screen there for activation codes, and you can actually just copy from the text file that's made and paste it in, and it will activate everything. Boom, boom, boom. It's really fast. And it will recognize if you've already got 4 on your machine and you upgrade to 5, it will recognize that you have Artisan 4 on your computer, and it'll say, hey, do you want to convert everything over for use in 5? And it will bring everything over for you from Artisan 4 so that you don't have to worry about reinstalling anything or kind of configuring everything. All you have to do is copy and paste those activation codes into your software. Okay. One of the other major things that I've seen that's new in Artisan, of course, just like in 4, once you open it, let me reopen this. Once you open this, it's going to say, hey, do you want to start it in basic mode or advanced mode? And that's not anything new. They did that in Artisan 4 also. But the difference between basic and advanced is a little bit different this time. So I'm going to start out in basic mode, and we're going to open this one project that I've been working on. My family went to Yellowstone this summer, which was awesome. I actually worked in Yellowstone a few decades back, and so it was really neat to go back. But this is basic mode in Artisan 5. Doesn't look that much different. You will notice, just like in Artisan 4, that one of the differences between basic and advanced is that in the basic, they've removed the arrange folder, which may not make a huge difference. A lot of what I use in the arrange tab is actually right here on the home tab under align and order and flatten and rotate. Pretty much those are the quick keys to get to that anyway. So that's not a big loss, because if you notice in the advanced mode, I'll toggle over to that. The arrange tab, that's pretty much all it's got, is rotate, grouping, and aligning, other than moving things front to back, which is the order. So it's pretty much the same thing. You just have access to it in 2 places. But the other thing is, now you can see I'm still in advanced mode, and now I've got this little bar here underneath my menu ribbon that lets me tweak. I've got my text box selected, so it lets me change the fill. I don't think I'd want a fill in my text box, but I could change Oh, that's for a shape. I can actually change all sorts of things from here. I can change my font very quickly from here, and it gives you a new view of what your fonts are going to look like. So it gives you the name of the font and then kind of a sample, a sample of what that looks like. I'll pick that one. That's a pretty good title font. It lets you change the size of it here, so I can go ahead and make it a 32 point. That might actually be better. I can unbold it with this font. That really doesn't matter. I can underline it all from like right here. And actually, I can just change where it's at location-wise. If I want to be really exact about where it is on the X and Y axis here, I can do that. And I can even flip it. I'm going to flip it back. And then, of course, I've got save here. If you'll also notice, really quickly, over here, we used to have pages in 4. I'll show you that again. Okay, I need to open a different project. So let's look at this one. Sorry, it's going to take it a second. But I can, in this one, see I went over here because the pages are all down on tabs down the side. So I get my pictures here. I've got my content here. And all my pages are arranged here. And it's pretty similar in 5, but now they've arranged my different tabs along the top so I can look at my photos, I can look at my content. And one of the things here is that I can arrange my photos. I can actually manually rearrange how they're located. So now I can kind of go, okay, I want this one down here, which is kind of cool because actually this particular trip, we had 2 different cameras, and I think they must have had a different enough time and date stamp, and they were imported at different times into Historian. And so I've got all of the pictures from one camera in the first part of my my photos here that are uploaded, and then all the pictures from the other camera after them, which, you know, it was a 3-day trip, so I have to go through, and if I want things from the first day, I've got a couple of things here, and then I have to scroll all the way down to about here to come back to the same point in time to find my pictures, and it's really slowing me down. So anyway, so this is one of the differences between 5 and 4. And then also, I like this. Let's see. Let's go to insert. We're going to insert some text. And if you notice, when I clicked on text there, it gave me my text box here. I'll make it more obvious. Look at those lines. It's trying to line things up for me, which is absolutely awesome because I love lining things up. I'm really anal about that. But instead of having a floating dialog box, I wanted to say conversation box, but it's a dialog box that we used to pop up right in the middle of the screen here. They've put it over here on the right hand side where I can go ahead and decide what shape I want my text box. Let's make it a paw print, and I can decide what size it is either manually here, or I can still go over and drag it out a little bit, and I can add text from the clipboard if I already have some. And I'm going to go ahead and insert some text. Okay, maybe I can't do that yet. So I've got to create it first. And now I can. I'm going to say, my daughter loves anything with paws. And that's in the paw print. Now, if I don't give that paw print a stroke, then nobody's going to know it's a paw print. And I probably should have done that in that last text box. But anyway, you kind of get the idea there. We're going to have to play with that some more because I don't generally make text boxes like that. I'm going to go ahead and delete it. Okay. And the other thing that is cool about this, let's see if I can find it. I just love the fact they've made things even easier to get to up here. So like for my home screen, I had the background selected earlier, and I actually went up here and I hit stamp, and it actually stamped the mountains back there. So it made it made a stamp image, if you can see that, of the mountains that were in the background, which I thought was awesome. But it's just right there ready for me. Come on. Told you to delete. Okay, fine. You know what? My poor computer is saying, wait. You're doing too much here. So anyway, let's jog over here really quick and see if anybody else has joined us. Nope. And we're looking off into the distance of our own screen sharing. So anyway, since I don't have anybody here to ask me questions, what I'm really going to probably do is stop this, and in the next couple of days, I'm going to put up some really short YouTube videos just about certain aspects of this to make it easy, because I like short videos. I never have time to watch long videos. I can't get through them, so I don't make them either. But if you have questions, definitely let me know. You can always reach me at my blog at debsdigitaltips.com. You can find out more. For some reason, my image won't work, but if you want to upgrade to Artisan, this actually takes you directly to the page where you can choose either to get Artisan for the first time or get the upgrade. Like I said, if you've got Artisan 4, you can do the upgrade, which is a much better deal, obviously. And what you will need, though, in order to do the upgrade is your Artisan 4 activation code, as well as the one that they'll give you for 5, because it will ask for both. And you will have to link it to your Panstoria account, which is awesome, because then it is actually saved for you in your account, so that you can go back and re-download and find your activation codes again if something should happen, like say you reinstall your operating system. So with that, I hope you are having a fabulous week, and I hope to talk to you really soon.